Good afternoon, my friends, and thank you for joining me for another shave. Today's shave is an all-in shave based on Terre de Hermes, although I don't have any Terre de Hermes at all. But Rod Sterling's the Sterling Arcadia is inspired by orange dirt, as is Orange Noir, which I have with the matching aftershave. We are using our Sterling fan-shaped badger brush, and we are using today our Kai clone with the lips on it, so it's kind of a hybrid shavette. I kind of got ahead of myself, hit record before I was really completely ready. I like to have my lather ready to go when I start my shaves, but today I'm hitting on about 5 cylinders, I guess. I never claimed to be always on the ball, but I was so excited just to be not raining outside. So I checked out to see if I could cut grass, but it ain't gonna happen. So I put the tractor away. I suppose I could cut grass, but it would leave. I'd need a hay rake because the grass would just lay wherever it is when it gets cut, and then you guys know that's not a good thing to have happen unless you're going to rake it up and feed it to the animals. Let me get a little water on here. I've been working with Occam's razor for a couple of days anyway. And so far, I am super pleased with that purchase. I don't know how many of you guys took advantage of that sale, but it sure is a nice one. I'm glad I got in on it. I'm still trying to think on the rules as far as the rules of engagement between the current king of the single edges for me. Artist Club type is the Vector. Boy, that Occam's razor is pretty darn nice too. As far as the clones go, I'm really liking this one. The one with the scalloped sides. I've got a couple other ones. Yeah, I've got the super shiny one that's a little too fat for the sides there, and a couple in the other cabinet. But this one here is pretty nice, and hasn't seemed to give me any trouble. Of course, I haven't tried it with the Pro or a Pro Super yet. I'm not sure if I ever will try it with the Pro Super. Today, the state has opened up restaurants to allow dining room service. So Christy and I are going to be eating at home. My figuring is everybody on the planet is going to be out trying to get someplace to eat out and not be eating at home. So, well, maybe I'll clean out the garage. I've got a ping pong table to fold up and put away. I'm still drying out pictures from the flood, believe it or not. And I got a billion slides. Dad took a lot of slides. I think he discovered them in the mid-60s. He switched over from prints when he went from black and white, and he was developing his own pictures to Ektachrome slides. Problem with Ektachrome is the emulsion, or whatever it is that carries the picture, is water soluble. So I lost a bunch of slides and pick up a tray of, like, they all came in those cartridges, and you pull the slides out and the images would be just all gone and the frame would be blue. So a lot of history lost. It's a shame. And even the ones that I saved, as I was putting them away today, I was thinking to myself, and I said, yeah, you are probably the last person that's going to see these. And I'm hoping not. Because I got some really interesting ones. Dad went, before he retired, this has been mid-70s maybe, he took a government trip to Iran or Persia and he was in Iran just before the Shah fell. And got out just before everything went kind of crazy over there. So he traveled all over the country and saw a lot of the sites. I may have published one or two. And he had spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 months over there doing that which he does. This is kind of my reverse pivot that I do on this side because I'm a single winger. Some of you guys might call it call for a windshield wiper motion. I just pivot the other way. I've got one spot right here that I plane the top of a angry follicle or an ingrown hair, and it's been kind of slow to heal, so I'm taking my time around it. So Dad brought back a bunch of stuff. He bought a camel bell off of a fellow standing beside the road with his camel. He says, I want to buy a camel bell. The guy took it right off his camel and handed it to him. That was really something. I don't know how old this bell is, but boy, it sure looks old. And it doesn't fit on my drum kit or anything, so I just kind of hang it up. It's hanging next to the back door. When the door opens and it kind of bumps into the bell and it dings, so I can hear people sneaking in the back door. He wrote back a rug and a giant hookah. The thing has got to be 3 feet tall. What they did there is they would wet the tobacco. I assume it's tobacco, that's what Dad said. They would get it wet, and then they would lay a burning hot coal on top. And it would smolder, and you would have this hose that you would inhale through, and it would pull the smoke down through the coals and down into the water and out to the reservoir in the bottom. I think that's over at my brother's house. I'd have a camel bell and a couple of I don't know, what do you call them? Art that's carved in an ivory-like material. I don't know. If it's actual ivory or not, because I don't know how that they would get ivory there in the middle of the desert. So I got to figure it's some kind of a polymer or something that they carved in. But the frames on those are so intricate. Oh my goodness, they're beautiful. And they're kind of primitive, almost like an inlay into the ivory-like material. Pretty neat. But he had a lot of stories to tell. Unfortunately, the only camera he took was one of those little thin cameras. Remember was it a 110? I'm trying to remember. They were kind of the rage in the 70s. Kodak had a whole line of them. And they had flash cubes that were mechanical in nature. They would, you put the flash cube on, and there was a spring inside the cube, and it would come up and it would strike the base of the bulb, and it would cause a flash inside the bulb. And we used them quite a bit in marching band for various effects. Anyway, when you take slide pictures with those, the resulting slide is wee tiny. The frame is, on a regular slide, it's about 1.75 inches by maybe 1.5 inches, or 2 by, I don't know, about this square. But when you're using those little 110 cameras, it's an itty bitty little thing, maybe 1 inch and by 7/8 maybe. Tiny little thing. and the image is so tiny that it's hard to discern what is actually on there. So I've been drying those out, and there's got to be 600 or 700 of them that I'll have to scan. Or maybe I'll farm it out, I'm not sure. It seems like it would be a monumental task, one that I don't really have the patience to do. So, yeah, I don't know, we're going to figure out what to do with it. Today's shave was brought to us by Orange Noir, or Orange Dirt. We use the matching aftershave right here. And we use the fan-shaped sterling bore knot, and scraped everything off with the scalloped Captain Clone with what is that? Pro Touch blade that's got the little wires on it. I haven't tried this with a unguarded blade yet. That's all I have for today. I'm Major Rich. You'll find me at theshavingcowdry.com. I appreciate you coming. Let me get my collar back out here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye now.